the Ladies of Rewatch and Wine, and I'm Raya.
Champagne.
Teresa.
And Lynn.
And we are bringing to you the book to movie adaptation of The Girl That Kicked the Hornets' Nest from the Dragon Tattoo series.
Yes, I love the Millennium Series.
Right? Book 3 of the series.
Yes, almost done.
Almost done.
And we're drinking?
We are drinking Flip Flop Wines. Found it in the store.
Oh, I was actually just thinking to myself, they should have a thong
Moscato
on the front. And there are thongs on it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. It's a Moscato, and it's decently priced. And it's not that overly sweet Moscato. It has a scale on the back between, like, dry and not. It's kind of blurry. Sorry. But, yeah. So, it's not super sweet. It's kind of like at, like, that right over the medium sweet level. So, I like it.
Yum.
But still refreshing.
Okay, so let's hop right into The Girl Who Kicked the Hornets' Nest, Book 3 of the Millennium Series, or Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series, however you want to refer to it. This is the Swedish version of the movie that we're looking at, because there is no American version. Let's talk about this actual story, the third book story.
Yeah.
Because I know I said it the last time, but this is my favorite. Right?
So before we start talking about it, though, I wanted to mention last time on the girl who played with the Hornets. No, what is it? Girl who played with fire.
Right.
One before this.
Yeah.
At the end, you said the end of that one was when something happened that actually happened at the beginning of this one. So when I saw it, I was like, wait, did I miss something?
Yeah.
So it was when the blonde. Yeah. I remember you saying before, I think I'm running them together, but it made sense once I saw it on this one. It was at the beginning of this one.
Oh, are you saying that I didn't make any sense before, but I make sense now? So,
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Actually, you spoiled it. You gave a little spoiler alert to her.
Sorry.
Spoiler alert.
I was like, remember that part? I'm just going to shut up because I don't remember.
We're all running together, right? So this story, man, I love this story. Like in the book, the courtroom scene that they talked about when she just like, when Mikael's sister just drilled into Teleborian or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was just
Teleborian or whatever. Yeah.
That was so suspenseful for me. I was just like, come on, get him.
Right.
Get him.
I had the opposite feeling for her lawyer. I was like, what are you doing? What are you waiting for? Go, get him. And it took so long, and I'm like, finally. Yeah, it was the best scene ever.
I was laughing because I was saying it was just like, wait on it, dig that hole, keep talking, dig that hole.
Yes.
Right. It was perfect.
Exactly. And he was so arrogant.
Oh,
of course. And blah, blah, blah. She was like, oh, really? So am I a whore because I got high? And because I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
She just, you can't believe a word she says, basically, is what he said. So.
Right. Oh,
And
every time everybody kept saying that, I was loving it. Like, she's exaggerating. That didn't happen. I'm like, just wait.
Keep on talking. Matter of fact, there's 2 officers waiting for you, Mr.
That was hilarious.
I like how they showed that even though her the lawyer Blomkvist's like sister wasn't a big fan of Lisbeth just because of all the things that, like, well, she was mysterious for one, and then all the things that she had heard in the news, and he was like, or she just kind of literally defended Lisbeth because that Mikael said yes, like, defend her. And after she started learning all those facts about Lisbeth, was like, I'm 100% down. I'm going to defend this girl. She needs to get off. And I liked how they showed that in the movie. At first, she was kind of like just a little detached, and then eventually it became she's getting off. And I liked how they showed her change from one to the other, or one feeling to the other.
I thought the trial, even though I liked it, the way the trial went in the movie, I actually liked it better in the book. I don't know. I felt it was more full and more suspenseful for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
In the book, I felt like they just had this crazy buildup, and you were just like, it's coming.
Right. Exactly.
But in the movie, I don't know, they kind of crammed it a little, and it wasn't that build up, and I felt like she didn't leave them dangling on that edge as long as she did in the book.
Exactly.
So also to compare, the first time I read it with the hard copy cover of the book, and this time I listened to it on Audible. And I remember the first time it was so good in the book, and then watching the movie, and then this time on Audible, being like read to and told the story made it even more suspenseful.
Yeah.
So that's not in the comparison we normally talk about, but from going from hard copy to like Audible, I was like, I could not wait for the whole scene to end. I was sitting by myself in a dark room listening to a book like a psychopath, but I had to listen to the whole story.
Right.
So going from hard copy to being told the story, it was even better too. The movie was like terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, in the courtroom scene, one of the things that I didn't like was in the book they kept her. What was her name? What was Mikael's sister's name?
Anika.
Yeah.
What is it?
Anika.
Anika.
A-N-I-K-A.
In the book, Anika was so sharp and so on point in the book. Like, she didn't waver. You never thought that she lost confidence in anything.
Mm-hmm.
But in the movie, they showed some scenes where she came across as worried.
Yeah.
And because you know,
like flustered.
Yeah, and then Mikael came in with this save the day paper thing that, you know, in the book she had that ahead of time, which I think built her confidence. But I didn't really like that. Like, one of the things I loved about her in the book was the fact that she was just like, oh, really?
Right.
No, I'm finished asking questions for now. I'll get back to you with that.
And she was a women's rights lawyer, so she had that confidence going. You know, in the beginning she was a little nervous. They said in the book, but toward the whole trial, she was so confident. And the one thing that I didn't like was she didn't, once she started talking or once she started pleading her case, she didn't waver at all. Like, she stood strong. And like you said, in the movie, it was one part about Lisbeth's records, medical records from Teleborian, that the judge said, oh, you can't use that or whatever. She was like, oh, so she felt defeated for a second.
Yeah.
It happened that way in the book because once you have the paperwork, long as both parties have the paperwork submitted, and you can go ahead and present it. So I didn't like that because it's not.
I feel like you're right. In the book, she reacted like, "Oh, I can't, can I? Okay, we want to pull some receipts." Versus the movie, it was kind of like, "Oh,
right,
yeah,
right."
I don't like that either. It's a good point to bring up.
That's the second woman in the movie. They put that soft spot in, and I don't know because I don't know the director or anything, but even Erica's role in the movie, where they had her begging Mikael to like let the case go because she was scared. And I'm thinking to myself, that was nowhere near her personality in the book. In the book, she was just like, be careful, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Right. And she had this, I mean, she was begging him, you gotta stop, it's not worth this, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, okay, so twice, with his sister and with Erica, they made these women softer than I wanted them to. I'm not happy with that character personality change in either one of them.
I agree 100%.
I wonder why they did that.
Ray, you're still silent.
Calling Aurea. Oh.
Nope. Can't hear you still.
You're miming it out here.
Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Can't hear you at all still. We still can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Really? Really?
Okay.
Okay.
A couple of things they changed. You know, I don't like that much of change.
Mm-hmm.
How in the world? Well, one, this is not a change. It just was silly. Goomberg, the one who killed Elizabeth's father in the hospital, and then he went to Elizabeth's room, which wasn't in the book. It wasn't a book, but in a different way. How did he know what room she was in? Like, let's be real.
It wasn't written anywhere. He didn't read it anywhere.
Somebody name on it. Right.
Exactly.
You know why he knew it in the movie? In the movie, he knew because he saw the lawyer. He heard the lawyer talking. He walked behind her and he recognized her.
Yeah, but he didn't stop and see what room she went in. Or
He was asking what room Elizabeth was in.
No, she was at for a cigarette patch.
The nicotine patch.
Nicotine
Oh, yeah,
patch.
she was asking for a nicotine patch. You're
Because
right.
Elizabeth wanted a cigarette, and she was like, no, nicotine patch.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
the Mr. Mark on that.
I didn't pay attention to that in the movie. But I feel like I saw him, go to the door, but I have no idea how he knew what room she was in. But in the book, he also tugged on the door, they said.
Well, he saw her lawyer peeping her head out of Elizabeth's door.
Yeah, in the book. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, in the book.
That's what you were confusing it with, right?
Yeah.
Because I was like, I feel like he did see the lawyer, but you're right, it was in the book.
It was in the book. Yeah.
So I kind of like spiraled during that whole scene of him going to like try to shoot Lisbeth, because the doors, as in Sweden, are open in the opposite direction they do here in the U.S.
That's a good point.
So when they put like the little machine under the door so the handle couldn't turn, I was like, well, they open outwards. You can just pull it, and it is the whole thing, the machine and all, is going to come open. So I started Googling why the doors in Europe open the opposite direction.
Oh my God. And what did you come up with?
And I took notes on it.
Oh my God.
And it said for a few reasons. It reduced the amount of water and snow that entered the property, like when in Sweden, because the big giant like snowstorms they have. So because of the way the door shuts and the hinges, it's easier to escape fires. So instead of having to pull the door towards you to move back into the fire, you push the door forward to go out. That way you don't have to back into the fire's behind you.
So they're a little safer than we are.
Yeah.
Evidently.
Well, that's someone chasing you. I mean,
exactly. It's chasing you to your house, and then you gotta
Was that another
to your house?
That was
another fun fact, Rhea. Did you have any other words that you wanted to add to that fun fact?
irrelevant.
It really bothered me. After 3 movies, I was like, why do the doors keep opening that way? And I know they open that direction, but you know me, I have to find out why. And so I started Googling, and I was like, oh, pause.
interesting, actually.
It's okay. Okay.
Great.
So yeah, back to the actual book.
Yeah. So, again, they left out a lot. What happened to Erica leaving Millennium? And
exactly. That's what I said on the last book. I was like, what happened to this struggle with her deciding to go to this new magazine? And
they left all of it out, including the stalker, which I wanted to see because it led up to Lisbeth and Erica, or Lisbeth helping Erica, trying to find out who did it before she went to jail. So I wanted to see their connection, even though Lisbeth hated Erica because of Mikael. Right. So I wanted to see that, but they left that out. So
I think it was probably because it was irrelevant. They still could continue to.
that piece was not irrelevant to me. It was not relevant to me. You know why? Because it was significant because it was all hands on deck at the bookstore, at the magazine, with Erica not being there. Mm-hmm. And there was this whole dynamic of this story as to why Erica ended up having to come back. And I don't know. I mean, I guess it didn't have any significance to Lisbeth's story, but I felt like it was a great piece of the dynamic because that what Champagne described is what rebuilt Lisbeth and Erica's relationship to help her get past Mikael.
Yeah.
So, and then what happened to the relationship with Figueroa?
Right.
Oh, that's
besides
gone.
her jogging.
Right.
That's gone.
That was nothing.
I'm like, that was significant too because Erica realized how much they really liked each other at the end, and she was kind of hurt because she was about to get the boot.
Right.
Figueroa was like, pat out.
Yeah.
She was willing to back off if he fell in love.
I don't know. I feel like they could have done that and took out, other stupid stuff. Like, we didn't need to see so much of Lisbeth's friend, the hacker.
Yeah.
We didn't have to establish a relationship with him at all.
No, I love Plague. He always saved the day.
I know, but we didn't actually have to be with him and see him and him in the courtroom and all. Like, we didn't have to do all that.
I thought that part was cute because it showed, what was going on behind the scenes.
But it also was continuous from like book 1 or movie 1 all the way through. That like other friends kind of came and gone, like Miriam and stuff, but like Plague was there from the beginning,
helping her.
But I feel like in this third book, they gave him a bigger role.
You said what?
They gave him a bigger role in this third book that I just felt like, he didn't need.
Can y'all explain to me why Elizabeth's lawyer, Anika, was pregnant the whole time? I don't.
I was gonna say that. I was like, they hit me with the irrelevant. But I was like, is she actually pregnant?
I was like, why?
She didn't look pregnant.
So the first time I picked that out too was when she was standing outside, the car was coming by, and I was like, wait, was that her stomach?
Yeah,
same thing.
I wonder if she had a baby.
In the courtroom, she's like, back in the stomach without the ear.
And it wasn't like a small,
No, she was huge.
She was a full 9-10 weeks. Like, all right, I'm ready to pop. I was like, where did the stomach come from?
What's the significance in that?
Well, I was thinking she was really pregnant.
That's what I'm thinking. She was really pregnant, and she had already secured the role.
Yeah. Because I'm telling you, closer to the end, she didn't look pregnant anymore. It was very weird. Because I was like, well, wait a minute. Maybe I was seeing things, but I didn't rewind. But I was like, I know the entire beginning part of this movie, she was pregnant. But at the end, she did not look pregnant.
You're right, because remember, you can't be pregnant and sitting there drinking a glass of wine at the end.
In Europe, you can.
Well, yeah, I guess you could.
Yeah,
but typically,
you can drink. You can have a
glass of wine while you're pregnant.
Purposes, people. Just saying movie purposes. I feel like, why would they show her drinking? If she really was. Yeah. Or if she, was pregnant for real. Or not for real.
Maybe she wasn't pregnant.
Right.
I think
you guys are body shaming right now.
She wasn't pregnant to the end. That's what I was saying. Maybe she wasn't pregnant, like you said, toward the end.
Yeah, it was very odd. Because I'm telling you, if you go back and look, her stomach was gone at the end. I was like, okay, you sure?
I might have to go back and double check that, because the whole time I kept thinking, was she pregnant? I just could have sworn I saw a stomach when that car came by. Or she said, I'll be back with you later or something. And I was like, what is going on?
And then she's going and getting stuff. I think when they were in the house talking about it and she was getting stuff out the fridge.
Yeah.
She's pregnant. But I'm telling you,
her pants, and I'm like, why are her pants so ill-fitting? And then I saw her turn. I was like, oh, because they're maternity pants. Okay, gotcha. It's a whole.
They seemed like they were like up tier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the courtroom when she was sitting back, and I'm just like, oh my god, you about to pop.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they left the part where the blonde giant, where they had their little altercation where she was nailing her foot to the.
Yeah.
Leave that out. I thought they were going to switch it, so I'm glad that they kept that in, because I really wanted to see that.
That looks crazy.
I like to see the torture.
I'm sorry.
That looks crazy. That looks crazy.
You sound like me, all psychotic.
But what's so crazy is like he wasn't even feeling. He was like, "What you doing down there?"
Yeah, he didn't feel a thing. That's why I was like, well, maybe she just did like his pants leg or something, because it was like, to me, if you weren't watching the movie, you didn't know that. I mean, if you didn't read the book, you wouldn't have known that.
No, that's very true.
It's like it was his shoe, it was his pants leg or his shoe or something like that.
Right.
Whole time with his whole foot.
Yeah. So weird.
Did they not mention in the movies that he had this aversion to pain thing?
They mentioned it in the book. Other book, yeah, too.
Yeah.
In the movie, did they mention it?
Not this one.
Not this movie, but the previous movie, yeah.
Oh, the previous movie they mentioned it. Gotcha. Okay.
That's why
so as a standalone, you didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Maybe they assumed that you wouldn't watch it like single, just the last movie by itself. You would watch all of them so you would know the carryover. But it'd been nice if they reset it again for the third movie.
Because they do that in the book. They reiterate a lot of things in case you forgot, which I like. Even though it makes,
make it longer.
So her guardian, the one that she liked, he wasn't in the courtroom at all. So I was irritated with that because I wanted him to be in the courtroom.
Me too.
So one thing I wanted to mention was I loved in the movie when Lisbeth came in and her full getup, the whole emo, the studs, the mohawk, and was like, F you, F you, you're cool, but F you.
I'm going to go out, I'm going out with a bang.
Exactly. That's exactly how I took it. Like, I'm not coming in here all prim and proper. I'm coming in here as me, because what you
I'm
need
gonna
to
be myself no matter what, because y'all going to learn who I am. So that statement, I loved it.
Y'all won't break
She did not care. She was just like, what?
Will not break me.
What? I'm sorry,
and
what?
Of course, everyone was like, oh my God. And she was like, what?
But the way she went back at the questions that the prosecutor, she was like, "No, you didn't ask a question."
Damn.
So, I mean, she was just on it. I love that part. I just love
I
the
guess she was like, when you
Well,
ask
one,
a question, I might
intellectual.
answer it.
Grammatically, like,
right.
there's a reason that there's sentence structure with
Yeah.
question mark punctuation at the end. I'm gonna need you to use it.
Yeah.
Well, the judge was like, well, I think she's not answering the question because once again, you've made an assertion. I was like, he didn't know what to say.
Yeah, he wouldn't be like, look, we all know she's gonna pick apart your stuff, so fix your grammar and come correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
I
Very
love
smart
that
girl.
part. Thanks for bringing that
Very.
up. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
What's that?
I loved her doctor in the hospital.
Oh, I did too.
Me too.
I'm trying to believe his
actually
name,
like
but I
the
love him too.
actor.
He was like, you need a few more days. You need a few
Eric-
more
Yeah.
days.
Erickson, I think.
But in the book, again, even that was more pronounced. It was like, if you don't want to go to jail, you can't you can't heal so fast. And that wasn't real
He's
clear.
sitting here doing like physical therapy. He's like, if you don't want to go to jail, hint, hint.
Right. Yeah, that wasn't in a movie. They left that
Yeah,
part.
because she's taking the temperature and all of that stuff. And I just feel like they didn't really show that was kind of a game going on.
Yeah.
He was really helping her. Their form of him helping her in the movie was giving her pizza in the phone. I mean, like,
Well, now, and also basically telling that psychiatrist, yeah, she my patient, and you ain't getting to talk to her.
mhm.
My medical
I know.
records
Hurry.
are yours. Nice try.
Hurry.
Right. I feel like they should have, since they didn't show the affair with the blonde lady, Monica, or Figueroa, whatever her name is. Since they didn't show that affair, they should have had him and Elizabeth get back together. Like,
Oh, God, no.
why?
I don't like him and Elizabeth together.
So, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I said they're both unattractive. They might as well be unattractive together.
I think they work best as friends.
Okay.
But I want Mikael for my friend.
I know, he's a true
Excuse me.
friend.
Right? If he's gonna like go to like the depths of like the earth to save her, I take him as a friend too.
Baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like he will do everything to save you.
Yeah.
All right, so what you all think of the casting?
Same as the other two. It's just,
Yeah.
I like the doctor, though.
I
Yeah.
did like the doctor.
Cast.
I did like
He
the
was
doctor.
new.
I don't feel like Figueroa was as described in the book. Apparently, she was supposed to be really super blonde with curls and athletic.
Yeah,
I guess
like,
yeah.
well, she was
Yeah.
athletic because we saw a quick glimpse of her jogging.
Jogging.
Yeah.
And being able to talk on the phone at the same time, so she's a seasoned jogger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that was
That
good
was-
call on her.
No.
Yeah.
But what about Peter Teleborian? Like, I don't know why I pictured someone different for his appearance, but I mean, it was good, but I don't know. I pictured somebody and I can't.
I pictured him a little bit more nerdy, but he was fine. He looked like a jerk, and he got him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a child molester to me. It's fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
He fit the mold.
done my next year.
Like you see him like in that lineup. Yep.
Anything else about the movie? The book adaptation?
Well, I just want to note that this is the last book by Stieg Larsson. So
Oh, yeah.
the author changes when we read the next one. But I wanted to make sure that like I reference this in this podcast. That way the next one, when we talk about the author's different writing styles and how the book flows into the different one, I mentioned it's the last book by Stieg Larsson.
So did Steve Lawson write the first one too?
He wrote 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
And he actually wrote 10 total, so 4 through 10. And he left them with his fiance, and he died. And he said he didn't want anybody besides his family to read them.
Oh,
So
wow.
they're out there somewhere with his fiance. But another author, which I can't think of the author's name right now, was a huge fan of his and also was a coworker of his on different things. So he picked up where Stieg Larsson left off and made the 4th book. And there actually are 2 more after that this new author wrote, but they're not movies yet. So
Yeah.
keep an eye out for if those become movies. But
But it was something about their relationship, too, though. They were actually good friends. Like, Steve actually
Yeah,
approved of this
together.
other guy
mhm.
Yeah.
being able to continue his work, right?
Right.
I think he approved. I thought I read something that he approved of it because of their relationship or friendship or whatever. I don't know, something like that. But anyway, okay, well, let's get to rating. So I love, like I said before, this one is my favorite book of the three. So I love the storyline, but I'm not happy with the adaptation because of some of the changes, specifically on the personalities of the two women. So I'm gonna give it a half glass.
Fair. I'm gonna give it a long day at work. I feel like some of the changes did bother me, but I just love this series so much that it's hard to waver away from a full glass. So I'll go one step down to a long day at work.
You mean one step?
Okay, go ahead. I'll give it a long day's work as well. I mean, I liked it. I wasn't so bothered by most of the changes. So yeah, long day work for me too.
I will give. I love the book, even though it's a little lengthy for no reason. But I like the book. Did not like the adaptation of it. Like you said, it just left out way too much. And then the changes with the women. So I'll give it a half glass also.
Okay.
All right.
So not quite a full bottle, but I'm telling you, the Tattoo series is phenomenal. Go check it out and definitely read the books. They are so good.
Tell us what you think. Keep us posted. Tell us what you think.
Follow us on Rewatch Wine on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
And Lynn, one more time, what are we drinking? Join us with a drink of
Flip Flop Wine Moscato.
Yum.
My nails aren't done, sorry.
All right, thanks everybody. Bye.
Bye. I was trying to like push the walls out like a